Well, it always makes me nervous when these scouts are out. Checking up on you. I almost feel like my deacons are here. We're fixing to have a meeting when church is out. It's really good to see you. Glad you're in the house of the Lord. All these preachers, all these folks, all these different ones touch my heart, my life. Listen to testimony. Just a wonderful thing, really. It is. And I'm glad you're here in the house of the Lord. And you know, I spent some time out around today. My sweetheart went to a few thrift stores, a couple of things like that. You know what I mean? And she always seemed like every store she bought something. Of course, most of the stuff was mine. I'd put it in her buggy, but I knew that would sound better tonight than to say that I bought something in every store that I went to. But I tell you, I was going to play something on my horn. I don't think I'll do that. One of these days. I got the books. I know. I've read it. But one of these days, I think someplace in the United States of America, or maybe London, England, I have no idea, that I'm going to be in a service one night. Now, I remember at the highway years ago one night that it got foggy in there, and I was assuming that I just needed to cleanse and clean my eye lens, but there was such of a move of God in there, I was aware that there was something present in the house. And there's been a few times that the pews have all emptied out and all the young folks have come around the front, but that's youth camp and that was mandatory for some of them. But I always have believed that one of these days, somewhere, I'm going to be in a service. I don't think it'll be an auditorium. It'd surprise me if it was in some great big venue. I just think one of these days I'm going to be in a service that if we wanted to write it down, the story would sound just like Azusa.
All right.
Or just like Topeka, Kansas, if we wrote it down. I mean, we're here in these last days, and the Lord bless, I know, but one of these days, I'm going to be somewhere. Maybe Randy Webb will be preaching. Maybe Dennis Heath. Maybe Brother Ron Beck. I don't know, but I would love to be in one of those services where God just comes down in the house and meets every need in there. And I'll tell you something that's real scary. You'd be surprised how many folks come to this church tonight with a need, and you've not even asking about it yet since you've been here. The folks in front of you or behind you knows more about your need because we talked about it when we come through the door than bringing it to Him and asking Him about the need. I got something here I want to talk to you about. It's in Matthew chapter 7, if you want to turn over there. Now, some of these guys get up real early in the morning, so I'll try not to be preaching when they do. I'll try to be done. I'll try to be done with it. I'll try to be done with it. Hallelujah. But it's Matthew chapter 7, I told you, answer. And I'm not going to read a long time tonight. In fact, I'm not even going to turn over there. Brother Ron is wanting, just don't go by this entire message tonight. Your opinion, don't. Are you ready? Here it is, Matthew 7. Are you ready? I just need one word. I don't even need the whole verse. Ask.
All right.
Ask.
All right. Come on, Joe.
One night at Calvary, we had it several times, but one night in particular at Calvary, a lady was there, her and her husband, and she's bothered by the devil of drink. I mean, she would come toasted to the house of God and bring her own toaster with her. And the nights that she danced in the Spirit, you should have been there. She'd come out of that pew, Brother Joe Bean, you don't know him, but one night he sure saved me a lot of heartache, because she danced out, and he stepped out, and grabbed her by the hand and swung her around and danced her right back in her seat. It was the most wonderful thing you've ever seen in this world, the way he done that, But she, at different times, would come to the altar, and how would I say this? She would come to the altar. She would come to the altar. And every time that she would come to the altar, her mode of operation was whoever came to the altar with her would suddenly turn into a priest. And she would give a confession down at the altar to whoever was with her. Well, this one particular night, I was the first guy there to meet her when she got down the front. And she looked at me, and she said, "Brother Hight." She was, that sounds sincere. "Brother Hight." And I said, "Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. You come up here with a need, ask him." Now you're going to think she got delivered, ain't she? She didn't. She got up mad and went back to her seat because she wasn't there to ask him. She was there to ask somebody else who would sympathize with her. Are you asking the right person? Are we asking the right person? Are we really? I mean, I had a young couple come into the church to counsel with me and my wife about certain issues and certain things, and they lived such a selfish, sordid, immoral lifestyle that me and her could tell right off the bat that they weren't there to ask for help. They were there to see our reaction if they could embarrass us with some of the things that they were telling us. And my wife, sometimes you have to watch her. She's more than a yard sale junkie. You have to watch her. You have to watch her. I'm telling you, you have to watch her. She said, I don't want to listen to this stuff. What you need to do is genuine. I tell you what, I'd marry her again if she wasn't already married. I tell you, what you gotta do sometimes is quit talking to everybody in the country about what's eating you up on the inside and ask the right person. Just before Christmas, the Moody's house up in our area, they go to Brother Dwayne Gallagher's church. While they were at church, their home burnt to the ground and everything that they had. Why'd that happen, Brother Hight? That's what some of my young folks ask me. You're asking the wrong person.
That's right.
You're asking the wrong person. How come your wife has Addison's disease and some of the big shots in Hollywood aren't sick a day in their life? You're asking the wrong person. You're asking the wrong person. Yes. Now don't everybody jump up because you're going to ruin a bad message. You're asking the wrong person. And I really genuinely believe. We were at a restaurant with Brother Paul Blanton one day, and we was sat down at the table, and it was kind of one of them buffet, hog trough kind of things. And we was sitting there getting ready to root out the corn, and I'm kind of, when we get there, let's just pray. And I usually don't ring a bell or put up a sign and tell you I'm fixing to. I just get there when we say, I'm telling you, you just, Lord, I pray. Well, when my eyes flung open, this waitress was standing there with this kind of look on her face, kind of shocked, and it was just a moment. There was a moment there that she felt just a little awkward, and I said, if you was going to be at my church tonight, and you were going to preach, she likes stuff like this. I would put cabbage on your plate, boy. I said, and you were going to preach. What would you preach on tonight? You know what she said? Huh? She said, you're asking the wrong person. Perfect. Sounds like a logical thing to me. Because we got a lot of people in our church that the one big thing that they do not take care of is that one little word, ask.
All right.
Everybody else knows your trouble. Everybody else knows what you're going through. Everybody else knows the pain. Everybody else knows the fear. Everybody else knows the worry. But sometimes we go through an entire life and never ask the one person that can take care of it in a moment and in the twinkling of an eye. I have so much pride about me sometimes that I'll walk into the house of God. I am so wound up and got so much pride about me that I could be battling asthma out one ear and bronchitis out the other, and walk in that church and act like not one single thing is wrong with me. You know the reason why? I got too much pride to ask the right person. And sometimes we come in on a Thursday night church service and we're waiting for a Greek translation from the Hebrew text out of the book of Revelation and trying to figure out what the 7 hills are in relationship to Dr. Laura. But what we really need to do is come into the house of God and ask the right person about the trouble you're having at home and the trouble you're having in your life. Well, I was really wanting something a little bit deeper. And maybe we'll get into the camp meeting this year. But this is what you're going to get tonight. We need to ask the right person. We sit around and we talk about it and we worry about it and we get vexed about it and we cry about it and we blow our nose about it, and then we come into the house of God where we can find the answer, where the real touch of God can touch a man on the back row and tell him, come on down, come to the front, come hither, come to this altar. And I'm telling you, brother, sister, when he did tonight in this service, a classic example of somebody who went to the altar and asked the right person. And I mean, from the very depth of my heart, there was an incident. I might need that cordless mic. Someplace here. Woo! There it is. There was an incident in the Word of God where a man by the name of Pharaoh and a man by the name of Moses had this little competition going out there in front of the palace. And the competition was, you throw down your rod, and they'll throw down theirs. You throw down that one, they'll throw down ours. And Pharaoh wanted to prove to Moses that the sorcery and the demonic powers of his soothsayers was just as potent as the powers of a great God. But the truth of the matter was, they were asking the wrong person. Because when the thing was said and done, they were out of rods, and Moses still had his. And I really think sometimes we come to the house of God trusting in we trust every vitamin, and we trust every herb, and we trust every herb, and we trust every curb, and anything else in life that we can find to bail us out. When the real crux of the matter is, if you walk into the house of God, step out, do an aisle, walk down toward the front, raise your hands and ask the right person, you can get delivered, you can get saved, you can get set free, you can get, you'd be surprised how many people do not have the Holy Ghost because they don't ask the right person. You think I can have him? You think I get him? You think it's for me? You think I can? You think, yeah, I think you can. Send Kenneth Copeland $50. Invest in his ministry, and he'll give it to you. He will. It comes in a little bottle about this size. I think it's red hot, but if you take them, you're talking something. I thought, do you really think that is Brother Baker still looking like he's going to have me this year? What's Brother Billy doing right now is what I want. But people come here. You know I'm telling you right. You are sitting in this room right now. You came through the door with a raging problem and so much pride about every one of us that we'll be the last person to really stand up and say, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. And that's because sometimes, I'll just be honest with you, we trust in everything else except the right thing. Now, I know there are demonic powers And I know that Satan can imitate shouting. He can imitate singing. In fact, he can transform himself and imitate a minister, an angel of light. He has all sorts of those kind of powers. And I also want you to understand that he makes a living, and so does his demons. They make a living in being seductive and deceptive to people that falls hook, line, and sinker for all of the things. Are you getting this? I'm telling you, when Elijah faced the prophets of Baal, they cut themselves. They prayed. They hollered. They yelled. They cut. I mean, when it was all said and done, all they had was scars and marks of a God that didn't answer them. And here stood a man off to the side with a little short prayer, had a fire revival. They come down and looked and said, all right, now listen, I'm going to tell you something. And I don't mean to be crude, and I don't mean to be rude, but it would surprise you how many children, how many teenagers, how many people are in that very condition tonight that the prophets of Baal was. When they called me down to the police department, and I walked inside that open area, and that demonic boy turned and looked at me, and he said, I asked them to call for you. When he looked at me, I mean, he was a sinner. He was demonic. He had a devil. He dressed in gothic black, the big boots with all the buckles on it. He would have never got on a flight. He couldn't have got through. He couldn't have got through the security before the plane landed all the way in Australia. I mean, he had more metal on him. I mean, I knew when they frisked him, they were going to have to start taking earrings off, and his face looked like a tackle box. I mean, it just looked like he shook his face in a tackle box and stood up and said, how do I look? I've never seen so many hooks in my life. And that boy looked at me and he said, I want to show you something. And he raised up his shirt, and there the prophets of Baal had been at work. He was cut. He was scarred. He was mutilated. Where those young people in this society are practicing cutting until in their very flesh they get some kind of emotional release when they cause pain to their own body. They're asking the wrong person. Them little girls, I'll hear them in the scanner. We need a couple of cars over on Leanne Street. We need a couple of cars over on Linda Street. 13-year-old out of control. Parents need help. 12-year-old out of control. Parents need help. And when they get to the house, we're not talking some little girl in pigtails or some little boy in little blue jeans and little flashing lights on his tennis shoes. We are looking at devils staring out of those eyes that's had an iPod in their ear, and they've got pornographic images on their computer, and they've got a lifestyle where they're smoking incense because they can't get the real thing. I'm telling you something, the devils outside the door are very vicious, and they are allowed, and some of our young people are asking the wrong person for help. Are you getting this? It's not going to benefit you, young lady, to run your finger down your throat and throw up every time you eat. All it'll do is give you the devil of anorexia. It's not going to help you boys to try to have an attitude. It ain't nobody going to tell me what to do. You're not asking from the right source for the right help, but there is a source that I'm telling you about tonight. You can get free. You got to ask the right person. You got to ask the right person. Visit our church. Come in the door for help. Fight with their sleeves. Try to pull them down around their knuckles because they know I'm looking for scars or track marks or something that'll tell me that they're not at our church because the baby needs formula. And they're not at our church because they're fixing to shut off the electricity. They're there because they've really got a big problem, and you can't solve that with an offering. You can't solve that with money. You mamas and daddies that think that you can pad the pocket of your children and make them love you, I tell you what, they'll just disrespect you even more when the day comes that you cut the source off. Or we can get in the church house where the glory of God is, where deliverance is, where people have been set free. We can get in a church house and some little girl whose nerves is eating her up, or some little boy who feels insecure and insignificant can come around the altar. They can ask the right person, and in the very room, and I want to tell you something. One of these days, I'm going to be in a place. I'm going to be in a place that everybody in the house asks the right person at the same time. And I'm going to make you a money-back guarantee. People will leave that church that night different than the way they came through the door. You won't walk out with the same blood pressure problem, or you won't walk out with the same sugar trouble, or you won't walk out with Addison's, or you won't walk out with asthma, or you won't walk out with bronchitis. I'm about to preach myself happy while you're sitting here looking at me. I'm telling you, there is a night someplace in God's economy that if you ask, you shall receive. If you seek, you will find. And if you knock, He'll open the door for you. Listen. I mean, I don't have to be up here all night to tell you something that you already know. But you young men, listen to me close. When Saul had trouble in his kingdom, and Samuel was already off the scene, he went to a witch. She taught me in the second grade. Never mind. I knew what that broom was for in that room. I knew it was. That was her vacation rig. Listen. He went to that witch, which he had already decreed in the land. All the witches was to be destroyed. And so now let's get the picture. Don't jump up right now, you'll ruin it. Let's get the picture. He went to ask a person that shouldn't even have been there about a problem that he shouldn't have even had in the first place. Now, how deep is that? There's got to be a Hebrew word for it, but right now I can't think of it. But I can think of this. You boys, you guys, you don't ask the football coach if playing football is right. And you don't ask the track coach if running track is right. And the young ladies doesn't ask the gym teacher or the cheerleading instructor if being a cheerleader in the school is right. You're asking the wrong person. You listening to me? You don't ask some lady who wears breeches if it's okay, ladies, to wear breeches. And you boys, you don't ask some guy that looks like that he's lost his last barbershop quarter if it's okay to look more like a sheepdog than it is a poodle. You're asking the wrong person. And don't everybody jump up and shout at once, but some of you have more info and you have more connection with people that you text on the phone than you do your parents. There's a breakdown in the communication. And you know why that is? You're asking the wrong person. You're closer to somebody at school that looks like a model out of 17 magazine than you are your pastor and his wife in the Holiness Church. You know why? You've been asking the wrong person. And that's why I'm trying to tell you tonight in this place, one of these nights, I'm going to be in a service somewhere that we can write another book and call it Azusa. When people recognize in one service that there is one hope and there is one help and there is one God and there is one power, and all we got to do is have is Matthew 7. 7. And one little word. Ask. All you got to do is lean back right now and ask. And watch the Holy Ghost cloud up and start raining in your field. All you got to do is lean back at this very moment and ask. And watch that addictive thing start looking for a place to hide while the power of God starts looking for a place to land. Sometimes you just need to ask. Now, you was a lot more excited about Pharaoh than you was when I got to this little point about yourself. And I know that there's a lot statelier things that I can be talking about to you tonight. But if you know more about what Dr. Phil thinks about the home than what God thinks about your home, you're asking the wrong person. If you've got more authors beside your bed who are in their second marriage trying to tell you how to keep your first one together, you are asking the wrong person. If you get fire engine mad because Brother Sutherland steps up here behind his pulpit and takes a text on your pet issue with the thickness of a tissue and starts shining a light upon it, and you think that the easiest thing to do is to change pews or change pastors and ask somebody else what he thinks about it. I tell you what he thinks about it. The reason he quit was he couldn't take that preaching either. You're asking the wrong person. What you really need to do in this service right now, if you're a teenage boy, what you need to do in this service right now, you need to ask somebody besides the NBA about serving God. Somebody besides the National Football League. You need to ask somebody beside the Cardinal Baseball or Cincinnati Reds or the rest of them color-coded groups. You really need to come in here and ask God, what do you think about my life and about my heart and about my home? Okay. Service was, I wish Mike Blue was here so I could tell you about service, but the service was about as exciting as a hiccup. Actually, we was in revival with him in the United States of America, in one of the places where he was at. Oh boy. We walk in that auditorium, it was starch, corn, starch. And everybody would do their one little thing. I stood there that one night, now listen, I stood down there that one night, and Brother Early, it just got all over me, like it does sometimes. This ain't working, and what I'm doing ain't working. Ain't nothing working. So you can't hurt something that's already hurt. Let's try something different. So when the choir got finished singing and started to exit stage left, I done something that was just remarkable. I stepped out and I said, "Sing it again." And like that, "Sing it again." Upon which the choir director looked at me and said, "We never sang it again." No joke. Well, it's the same song, it was the same words, and it was the same music. So just practice one more time. Sing it again. And she turned around and looked at the choir, who looked like they were deers out in the middle of the interstate looking at a semi bearing down on them at 2 in the morning. She said, "He wants us to sing it again." They forgot where they were standing. And it was a wonderful moment. It really was a wonderful moment. I was having a wonderful time watching pandemonium break out on the platform, and they went to singing it again. That's all they did. Saying it again. And they sung. And they sung. And they sung. Until a lady got up in the pew, stepped down an aisle, walked up to the front, got me and Mike's attention, and said, oh, my baby's just running a terrible fever and it's spiking right now. She's just very, very hot. Will you pray for the baby? Keep saying. We're fixing to ask somebody about a need we got up here. Keep saying. Keep focused. Prayed for that baby, and I'm telling you, I don't know how it feels to be a faith healer, but we prayed for that baby, and I couldn't hardly believe it. I looked at Mike, and he looked at me, and I said, she said, the fever has just left. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, shouldn't somebody be taking my picture right now? This would be a great poster moment. I'd like to start 3 radio stations. I'd like to start 2 television stations, and then buy a partridge in the pear tree that will take me through Christmas. I'm telling you, I was so bumfuzzled, and so was everybody else, because all they were doing on the platform was singing it again. But we started asking the right person for the need in the house. And when the boy came up front, up there on the platform, jumped up 2 or 3 flights of stairs on a crutch. And asked for me and Brother Blue to pray for him. And Brother Blue looked at me and he said, he's twisted his ankle real bad. He's been on this crutch for weeks. Is there any more babies in the house with a fever? Don't look at me like that. Is there anybody else in the house that Tylenol can take care of it? If you come up here, we'll dispense 2 off the side room, and you'll feel better by morning. Sometimes it's something that you can't take a Tylenol and get rid of. Sometimes it's something that you can't change churches and get rid of. Or you can't change companions and get rid of. You can't tear up your marriage and get rid of. You can't, sometimes it's something that requires. Are you getting this? It's something that requires. That boy walked up there on that platform. We laid our hands on him. At that moment, I was sincerely glad that I was the evangelist and not the pastor, because I knew Brother Blue was going to have to pick up all the pieces when everything was done. And when everything was done, the crutch was laying on the platform, and the boy was running around the walls of that church. And I said to myself, oh boy, we're in the right place at the right time, asking the right person tonight. Before that service was out, they were in the aisle. They were laying on the floor. They were seeking the baptism of the Holy Ghost. You know why? They got their eyes off of singing and preaching and me and everybody else. And they started asking. And some of them folks, before they ever got out of the pew, they had already asked. Some of them folks never got 2 feet away from their pew when the glory of God touched them in the back of the house. And I'm telling you, in this service right now, I don't know who you've talked to today or what you've said about it, but if you ask the right person right now, if you ask the right person right now about something that you carried through that door. Listen, if I was going to take this young one right here, just stand there and look good looking like me, and I was going to take this boy and put him right here, I'll just kind of grab ours. I want you to go up there, and what I want you guys to do, I want you to talk about race cars. You don't have to know much about them. Just go ahead and start. Talk about race cars. You know, Studebakers. And what are you looking at me like that for? You know what one is, don't you? Huh? That same woman that taught me in second grade drove one of them to... Wait, just start talking about race cars. Really, I want you to. Yeah, I'll tell you what I want you to do. I'd put a girl in the bunch, but I know you wouldn't listen to a thing I said after that. I'll tell you what I want you guys to talk about. And you may not know anything about it, and this may get me in trouble, but I want you to talk about basketball. You don't have to know anything about it. Just say basketballs are round and they're orange and they're red, white, and blue. And what you talking about? You're doing good. You're doing good. Woo! How are you feeling right now? Huh? How you feel about this service? Y'all keep on. How you feel about this service? What are you sitting there looking at me like that for? I mean, what more could we be doing? We got young people up front talking about excited. Okay. I really need. I need you to help me. I really do. Just stoop down and look young. And come over here and help me. That's all I want you to do. Just stand right there. Just stand right there. Are you in the mood? Yeah, I know it. You're getting gray as I am. Come on over here. I say, I need to get another young guy. Another young guy. Hello? Young guys. Are any young guys? Your hair is too black. You have seen me. Come here. Come help me. I just want you to go up here with these old guys a minute. This won't take long. This won't take long. And pray for the meeting over in Indiana. They've got to endure several nights like this. I'll tell you, are y'all still racing? I ain't heard one carburetor yet. Just, are y'all still? How's it going over here? Huh? And I'm telling you, if you're in this house and you're putting all your effort into sports, then right now, this is my suggestion. You go ask that bunch right there to pray for you. You'll be asking the right person. If that's your entire life, boy, it's quiet now. There will be no refund of the offering tonight, but we might give it back tomorrow night. But, I mean, everything you know more about the scores on the Sunday night ball games while the church service is going on. You may not be able to quote where the pastor is at, but you know who's ahead. And if you've got a need and you've got a problem, you're at the right place tonight. I want you to go down over this bunch right here, and I want you to have them pray for you. Yeah, I'll even put oil in your hand. You guys are getting more oil. Okay, you car junkie, you who, the minute your wife pulls the car back up in the garage, you grab the oric and go sweeping it out because you can't stand anything on the carpet. That's me. We get something else. You that sit there and watch racing and you like racing and you just get all excited about the sport and you just, if you're in this service right now and you are hooked on some other kind of sport activity, I want you to get up where you're at. I want you to go up here and ask these boys right here. I mean this right here on WD-40. Right there he is. Right there. We'll go 10W50. Is that one? Is that all it ought to be? Sounds like it ought to be good and set. Stick there. Stay there. Or you can listen in on these three guys who read a scripture that says, if two or three will gather in the name of Jesus and go there, talking about Jesus, talking about you, talk about healing. Talk about boom, 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 boom. Now I got a question. Now I got a question for your cancer. Now I got a question for your home pour-up. Now I got a question for your habit. Now I got a question for that hidden area in your life that nobody knows anything about. You can go up here and have the sports world pray for you. Or you can go right here and have the race car, NASCAR world pray for you. Or you can recognize that you're in a place tonight where 2 or 3 is all required for him to be in the midst. And you can get up out of that seat. You can walk up to this altar and ask the right person. Yeah, you can. You can ask the right person without even blinking an eye. And I tell you, one of these nights, I'm going to be in a service somewhere, and in that house, people are going to lean back and say, I don't have to go home sick. I don't have to go home without the Holy Ghost. I don't have to go home not able to even speak to my wife or having any communication. I don't have to go home and duplicate the home life that I come out of. I can go home and do it right. I don't pray, honey, and go start whatever truck in the parking lot has keys in it. Listen, you can be in a service somewhere, sometime, some night. So I tell you, let's do this, Brother Solomon. If it's okay with you, let's wait. Is your meeting in August? Is that when it is? Let's wait till August. Let's do that. Let's wait till August to talk to him about the rebellion in your daughter. Let's talk to him in August about the trouble with your boy not wanting to come to church. You're having a fight at all. Let's talk to him about it. Let's wait till August. Let's wait till August before you look over at your companion and say, if we don't get our home back on the rock, living for God and serving God, we're going to be part of the number of the fallen. That we can wait till August if you want to, or somebody in this house right now that realizes if you've been asking in that group, and you've still come to church tonight and things aren't any better, I'd like to direct you. I'd like to direct you to a service on a Thursday night in the state of Ohio when people walked into the church, lifted their hands, and told God, I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask tonight. I'm going to ask for my healing. I'm going to ask for my touch. I'm going to ask for my family. I'm going to ask for the Holy Ghost. I'm going to ask tonight. What are you doing now? What do you mean what am I doing now? This is the altar call. What do you mean what are you doing now? You were waiting for music. You were waiting for the choir to sing it again, weren't you? You were waiting for me to say, let's bow our heads, let's hold our heads. I know what she's waiting on. And that's what bothers me. I can't figure out why people would come to church and wait when God says, all you got to do is ask. I can't never figure it out why somebody always says, if you'll call somebody else out, if we wait, I don't know why. I don't know why. In a service like this, somebody that's been seeking the baptism of the Holy Ghost is still sitting back there, not asking. I don't know why. In a service like this, somebody that walked through the door with asthma wouldn't turn around, raise his hands, and say, I'm asking you, God, I need a touch in my lungs, and I need a touch in my life, and I need a touch in my ministry. I am labored preaching the gospel when I'm carrying this affliction. Hey, I'm telling you, if it's pride, you need to shake it off. If you're embarrassed, you need to shake it off. We ain't gonna have revival until you ask. And I'm going to get bold about this. If I was you, I wouldn't leave the service tonight needing something without asking. That's it, boys. Get right over there. I mean, y'all put them hands up there. That's it, boys. I'm telling you. I tell you what I'd do. If it was 9 o'clock and I was in a Holiness church and somebody been talking to me for 45 minutes about what God would do if I just ask Him. What God would do if I'd ask Him. Tell you what. I tell you, I asked Him one night. I said, my saxophone is going to send me to hell. Could you help me? And He helped me. Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. As long as folks is moving out in the seats, coming this direction, it tells me one thing. They're going to be asking somebody besides the water fountain. They're going to be asking somebody besides their car out in the parking lot. They're going to be asking somebody besides the person at the restaurant that they're fixing to order at in about 40 minutes. Don't let it shake you up. Don't let it shake you up that somebody stands up, steps out in an aisle, and feels the Holy Ghost. Because when we ask the right person, there ain't a certain... Wouldn't you really do better with a little music? Nope. I tell you what we would do better with. For the saints to begin to pray, for the Lord to have His way, and the glory of the Lord. Now, Brother Hight, there's people coming to this altar. They come to the altar every service. Wonderful. I'm glad for it. They're asking the right person. But I'm going to tell you this, if you're a visitor and you're in this house and you don't know me from a hole in the ground, just take my word for it. Get past my shenanigans and get past my preaching. Step out into the aisle and ask God, and you're just liable to have revival in spite of me. That's all right, you young folks, just pile right on in there. And I'm going to tell you something else. We're not making near enough racket. We're not making near enough racket. No, we're not. No, we're not. You boys that was on the ball court a while ago, let's see how much racket you can make right now, lifting up the name of Jesus. And you boys that was at the racetrack a while ago, see how much noise you can make. And you young ladies that just before church, you was excited about life. Let's get excited about God and see what He's fixing to do. Okay.
All we need is one word out of the Lord. That's been spoken to us by the Holy Ghost. We're going to ask. We're going to ask.
We're going to ask, Brother Whitney. We're going to ask. 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 And those of you sitting back there that's not up here right now, if you just stretch your hand this direction and ask God back there where you're at to do something right up here where we're at. We're liable to have one of them kind of services that everybody in the house goes down recorded in the Lamb's Book of Life that they tried their best to have an old-fashioned revival on a Thursday night. Ask. Ask. That's how you got into the prisons. That's how you got behind them locked doors. Ask. Ask the right person. Ask. Ask the right person. Ask the right man that can baptize you with the Holy Ghost. Ask. You young folks, if you all want to just kneel down right there and just pray, and if you don't know what to say, you don't know what to say, or you don't know what to do, I got this suggestion. You just say, Jesus, I need your help. 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 And a couple of you young ladies that might be close, just kind of reach over there and let these other young ladies know that they come to the right place tonight. Right place tonight. Come to the right place. I think we come to the right place tonight. I think we're at the right place tonight where the saints begin to pray for the Lord to have His way. And the next thing you hear is some young man leaning back saying, I want the baptism of the Holy Ghost because I know I'm in the right place to receive. I want God to deliver me of things that's been eating me up on the inside because I'm at the right place to receive. I've come to the right house. I'm among the right bunch of people. I'm at the right place. I'm talking to the right God. I'm talking in the right direction. Woo! I'm talking to the right power. I'm talking to the right source. I'm talking to somebody that I need. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Dads, pray with your boys. Young men, pray with your friends. Young ladies, pray one for another. I tell you, spotlight's on you tonight. We're not going to put your name in lights, but I'm telling you, the Holy Ghost has viewed this service, and there's been things I've mentioned that have been hidden deep down in the recesses of our imaginations, that God would love to touch you and set you free if you just lean back, lift your hands in His direction, and ask, Lord, I've been fighting tobacco addiction until it's about to drive me crazy. Oh God, would you deliver me tonight? Now you're asking. And I've been dealing and dwelling with things in my life, my personal life, my home life, things that if my wife or my husband had any idea about it, it would break their heart. It would cause them to want to destroy the marriage vows and walk away forever. Oh God, in this service tonight, I'm asking for you to do for me what I've needed done a long time. I'm asking you to make me a better preacher, or I'm asking you to make me a better preacher's wife. I'm asking you to help me be the kind of deacon that the Bible talks about. I want to be a Sunday school teacher that has the glow and the glory of God. You don't need a self-help book. You don't go to a self-help book. You lean back in this service. You look straight up at the ceiling. Go farther than the sheetrock and say, I'm asking just like you said. Just like you said. That's all right. That's all right. You young folks, you plow in there. You plow on in there. You young folks in the choir, ask Him to let the anointing fall on you every time you sing. When Brother Sutherland invites you up to the platform, ask him, young preacher, for him to anoint you. Every time Brother Sutherland or Brother Baker or one of these other great pastors have confidence in you to ask you to step up behind their podium and their sacred desk and preach the Word of God. Ask him about your preaching. Ask him about your dating. Ask him about the boy you like. Ask him about the girl you got your eyes on. Ask him. That's what He said. Ask. And you'll be asking the right person. You'll be asking the right person. Let's go to the guidance counselors. It's okay with me, but I'd try asking the right person first. Oh, glory to God. Oh, glory to God. Now, I wonder when blind Bartimaeus got to hollering out, asking about getting his sight. I wonder what volume he used, and I wonder what went on 30 seconds after that guy saw the sunshine for the first time. I wonder what decimal on the scale of volume was issuing out of that man. I guess somebody that's had a change take place. They've asked God, and God's done something for them. I guess that just kind of breaks out. The glory be to God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see you. I can give you countless stories of a young man that had a devil that the disciples could not cast out. They were asking the wrong person. They were asking the wrong person. But when they got to the right person, when they got to the right person. God love him, boys. God love him, boys. God love him, young men. God love these young ladies. God love these moms and these dads. God bless these Holy Ghost-filled men and women believers that have been down this path for as many years as I myself have been preaching. Oh, glory be to God. Oh, glory be to God. Glory be to God for every delivered man. Everybody that's ever stepped out of a habit, stepped out of a heartache, stepped out of a spiral down, and got involved in something that changed them for the positive. Woo! Glory be to God. Around these altars, Lord. Around these altars. The doctor just took the chart off of the wall outside the little door. The nurse took you in there about 30 minutes ago, and you've been waiting for the doctor to come in. And now he's took the chart, he's opened the door, and he's staring at you. I suggest that you lean back and recognize that when the great physician walks into the room, it's time to ask. It's what you come for. It's what we're in here for tonight. There may be 1,000 other problems and 100 other woes in your life, but in this service right here, right now, there is an expressed will of God for what's going to happen around these altars, and He's only asking for you to ask. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. If I was praying beside somebody right now that I could tell was really digging in, and I was just about ready to jump up and head back to my seat, I think I'd ask one more time. I think I'd reach my hand over there and lay my hand on my buddy, my friend. I think I'd ask one more time. Because one of these nights, somewhere, we're going to be in a service that God writes a brand new chapter. Not that God writes a brand new chapter in the history of the church. There was a bunch of folks that wanted to have a move of God more than they wanted to breathe. They wanted a move of God more than they wanted to eat. They wanted to see God do something in the altar more than they wanted anything else in this world. And while they were asking about somebody else's need, God was healing their own. God was honoring their own. Oh, God, across this congregation tonight, I'm asking.